The 2019 NFL Draft is light on a lot of the offensive skill position players at the top of the draft. There are a couple of wide receivers that are making noise in the first round, but I'm surprised to see that Iowa State Cyclones wide receiver Hakeem Butler isn't one of them. Is he a perfect NFL prospect coming out of the Big 12? No, but this year, there isn't a perfect NFL wide receiver prospect, in my opinion. Hakeem Butler measured in at 6'5", 225 with 35¼ inch wingspan, and 10¾ inch hands. He's a big receiver and generally, the type of wide receiver that the NFL looks for when they're attempting to build their receiver corps. Here are his measurements, courtesy of mockdraftable.com. And here is his spider graph, if you're into that sort of thing. As you can see, Butler moves the needle on the spider graph in the strength and athletic testing. He didn't run the short shuttle or the three-cone drill at the NFL Combine, which isn't surprising as those would be lesser traits to his game. For size, Butler runs an excellent 40-yard dash at 4.48 seconds. That puts him at the same time as Carolina Panthers running back Christian McCaffrey. Former Dallas Cowboys great Des Bryant ran a 4.52. The 40-yard dash helps measure straight-line speed and it's helpful, it just isn't the be-all end-all. Sure, you'd like a receiver to be faster, but Butler's size-speed combination makes up for being a touch slower than the guys running in the 4.3s. Film review. In order to get a handle on Hakeem Butler, I watched his games against Iowa, Oklahoma, West Virginia, TCU, Baylor, and Washington State. Believe me, watching the Iowa State offense was no small task. Quarterback much. Here's what I saw from Hakeem Butler. Is able to create separation on a variety of routes and against press coverage. Ran posts, slants, ins, outs, curls, both in and out breaking, double moves off of slants, sluggo and hitch and go, and 9-or-go routes. Moves well for size, could use some more quickness. Hakeem Butler is at his best when thrown back shoulder fade routes. He's an excellent ball tracker and shows great anticipation for the ball being thrown under the route for him to come back to the ball. Quarterback play at Iowa State was an issue. I counted 3, maybe 4 different quarterbacks that he had to work with throughout the 2018 season. Though Butler was able to bail them out at times, he and the rest of the Cyclones receiving corps dealt with poor ball placement. Butler is a physical blocker at the point of attack and away from the ball. He uses route feints to set up the defender so he can get square on them and uses good technique to secure his man and plays till the whistle. Was lined up all over the field in the games watched, including the slot, the middle receiver in bunch formations, and in tight sets as a single receiver to one side. Is very physical against press coverage and fights to get free throughout the route. The 2 games he struggled the most were against TCU and Iowa, where they used more zone coverage than Iowa State's other opponents. Those teams kept him bracketed, which left him little room to work in the zone and forced him into more contested catch situations. He had bad drops in both the Iowa and TCU games, but also came up with excellent catches. Butler is very physical after the catch and uses his size and agility to break tackles and create yards after the catch. Against the Sooners, he broke 3 or 4 tackles after the catch to take one the distance for the touchdown. I like Hakeem Butler as a pro prospect. He has some nuanced route running to him and is more than just a jump ball specialist, red zone threat. He has the skills to be a lead receiver for a team in the NFL and could even be used as a big slot receiver much like the New Orleans Saints use Michael Thomas. Despite some drops, I think he has really good hands and with his size and physicality would be an excellent addition for the Dallas Cowboys. I'd be surprised if he was available for the Cowboys at pick 58 of the second round, but if for some reason he was there, I wouldn't hesitate to select him. You can use him on the outside and move Amari Cooper to the slot, or put Butler in the slot and use Cooper on the outside. His ability to run routes from all over the formation is an asset that a smart team will take advantage of. 2019 NFL Draft Dallas Cowboys Hakeem Butler wide receiver name, Tristan Hill position, defensive tackle school, Central Florida Conference, American class, junior jersey, no. 9 recruitment rating, 3-star HT, 6 feet 3 inches WT, 308 DOB, March 25, 1998, tackles, defint, fumbles, year school, CONF, class, post, G, solo, tot, loss, SK, int, yards, AVG, TD, PDF, R, yards, TDFF, asterisk, 2016 UCF, American FRDL 9, 114.1.01.0000001, asterisk, 2017 UCF Americans DL 12911.204.52.0000000 asterisk 2018 UCF American Junior DL 1220163610.53.0000000 career UCF 40317120.06.0000001 highlights uploaded by Micah Wade on the 22nd of February 2019. Pros. The first thing that jumps off the tape when studying Tristan Hill is his first step quickness at the snap of the ball and his burst to get upfield. He is scheme diverse, but projects better as a 4-3 defensive tackle. Can play the 1 technique or the 3 technique in a 4-3 defense, but is at his best as a 1-gapper. Hill plays with a non-stop motor and high energy down after down. Doesn't take any plays off. Shows the ability to fight off blocks. Always working his hands and feet to free himself. Is equally disruptive, harassing the quarterback as a gap penetrator and in the running game playing sideline to sideline. Shows good agility and flexibility to bend and finish tackles behind line of scrimmage and in the open field. Can anchor down against double teams, but needs to improve his overall play strength. Uses a twitchy arm over and spin counter move to penetrate the gap as both a pass rusher and run defender. Cons. There are questions about Tristan Hill's maturity, work ethic, and coachability. He found himself in the doghouse last year at Central Florida and only started 1 game. Was he demoted because of the new coaching staff, or are the character concerns about him factual? This is something teams will have to dive deeper into. Needs to do a better job of playing under control. Will run himself out of gaps at times, which causes him to lose his gap responsibility. Can get washed out of the play by down blocks. Needs to develop a better feel and response to keep that from happening. Can anchor down against double teams, but needs to add functional strength in order to become more consistent. Drops his head at times on his initial punch. Needs to develop a more diverse pass rushing repertoire. Relies too much on arm over and spin move. Cowboys fit. Tristan Hill is a versatile defensive tackle capable playing the 1 technique or the 3 technique in the Dallas Cowboys 4-3 defensive scheme. Due to his first step quickness and high motor, he is likely better suited to play the 3 technique. He has starting potential, but would likely be a rotational piece on the DL as a rookie behind Maliek Collins. His ability to play on the other side of the line of scrimmage and sideline to the sideline would be a welcomed addition along the Cowboys' defensive front. He projects as a late day 2 or early day 3 draft pick, and that's exactly where the Dallas Cowboys would likely have to target him to acquire his services. Name: Stanley Morgan Jr. Position: wide receiver school, Nebraska Conference, Big Ten class, senior jersey, no. 8 recruitment rating, 3-star HT, 6 feet 0 inches WT, 202 DOB, the 7th of September 1996, receiving, rushing, scrimmage, year, school, CONF, class, post, G, rec, yards, AVG, TD, at yards, AVG, TD, plays, yards, AVG, TD, asterisk, 2015 Nebraska Big Ten FRWR 11.25.304 12.23 00025 304 12.23 asterisk 20 2016 Nebraska Big Ten SO WR133345313.7210 0.00 2017 Nebraska Big Ten Junior WR116198616.210122.00 6298815.910 2018 Nebraska Big Ten Senior WR1270414.371444.00 711008 Career Nebraska 189-274-714.522-362.00 192-275-314.3 22 Highlights, Where I Come From. I had to block for Leonard Fournette. I played on the same team as Tyrann Mathieu, Morgan said. It's just guys like that around me that made me want to work harder, just to keep going and give it my all. It's something that I was born with. Prost. Stanley Morgan Jr. was a consistent and productive wide receiver during his time at Nebraska. He projects as a C receiver in the NFL, but is probably better suited to play in the slot because of his skill set. Might be the best route runner in the entire 2019 WR draft class. There's no questioning his toughness and competitiveness. His passion for the game shows up on tape. Unafraid to carry his routes across the middle of field. Possess good separation ability due to his precise route running and his ability to change directions on a dime. Has an understanding of how to temper his routes as well and has a way of lulling defensive backs to sleep and catching them off guard. Has soft, natural hands and shows good technique at the catch point. Shows the ability to make contested catches. Large catch radius. Excellent catch focus and body control. Shows the ability to climb the ladder and high point passes. And faced with DBs draped on him and shows good spatial awareness along the sideline. Has a little wiggle to be a threat after the catch but doesn't have home run ability. Cons. Stanley Morgan Jr. could be labeled as just a guy as a wide receiver prospect. There is nothing really special about his game and he has just average speed and athleticism. Despite his productivity and consistency at Nebraska, he may have already reached his peak. Morgan may be nothing more than a slot receiver in the NFL. He doesn't possess the necessary speed to be a threat down the field and doesn't show a lot of burst out of his breaks. Average speed will limit his big play ability as well. Struggles to beat press coverage, which could cause cornerbacks to sit on underneath routes. Doesn't offer anything on special teams. Had a handful of opportunities at Nebraska as a kick and punt returner with very little success. Doesn't show a lot of functional strength on film. Lack of strength and power limits his blocking ability in the passing game. Arrested for marijuana possession in May 2017. Cowboys fit. Although Stanley Morgan Jr. has the ability to play that C position with the Dallas Cowboys, they would likely move him into the slot full-time as Cole Beasley's replacement now that he's officially moved on to the Buffalo Bills. He may not have the same kind of change of direction skills as Beasley, but Morgan's precise route running ability immediately makes him a threat in the Cowboys' aerial attack as a rookie. Morgan unfortunately doesn't offer much, if anything, on special teams. He returned a few kickoffs and punts during his time at Nebraska, but had marginal success. He will probably never be more than a WR3 and might have already reached his peak as a prospect, but he is the type of WR who can have a long career in the NFL. As a potential mid-round draft pick, he is an intriguing slot option for the Cowboys, but probably won't help fans forget about number 11 anytime soon. There are a lot of fans around Cowboys Nation who are hoping former South Carolina wide receiver Deebo Samuel is still on the board when the Dallas Cowboys are on the clock in the second round with the 58th overall selection. Samuel is the dream replacement for Cole Beasley for a lot of us, but would likely be a luxury this early in the draft instead of a need. I don't want to rain on the parade for all you Deebo Samuel fans, myself included, but I don't know if the Cowboys would pull the trigger on a WR that early. This is especially true considering there is someone who I believe compares favorably to Samuel and could be available at least 2 rounds later. In case you haven't figured out yet, I'm talking about former Nebraska WR Stanley Morgan Jr. Deebo Samuel of course is the more hyped WR and is in the running as one of the top 5 receivers in the 2019 draft class, but Stanley Morgan Jr. shouldn't be considered a consolation prize. These two WRs could be a carbon copy of one another on paper and tested surprisingly similar at the NFL Combine as well. Don't take my word for it, of course. Take a look for yourself. Height 5 feet 11 inches 6 feet 0 inches weight 214,202 arm length 31 3/8 32 3/8 hand size 10 inches 9 7/8 40-yard dash 4.48 4.53 20-yard shuffle 4.14 4.133 cone drill 7.03 6.78 vertical jump 39 inches 38.5 broad jump 122 125 bench 17-14. As you can see from the measurements and the testing, Deebo Samuel and Stanley Morgan Jr. are amazingly similar on paper. The similarities don't end there though. Both players are devastating with the ball in their hands and easily create separation through their root stems. The only real difference I have seen between the two is Samuel is a little more thickly built and has been more productive as an outside receiver so far in his career. He is also the more powerful of the two, which serves him well in contested catch situations. That's not saying Morgan can't be just as effective as an outside WR. He just wasn't utilized in that manner during his time at Nebraska. As far as the Dallas Cowboys are concerned though, both Samuel and Morgan would be ideal inside-outside WR candidates capable of replacing Cole Beasley in the slot. The only question now is which receiver would the Cowboys prefer? It's really a toss-up if you don't really know these receivers and have never watched them play, but not if you take into consideration what we know about the Dallas Cowboys. They like bargains, which is why I have a hard time believing they wouldn't be bargain shoppers in the 2019 NFL Draft like they have been so far in free agency. As much as we all love Deebo Samuel and the skill set he would bring to the Cowboys, investing a second-round pick might be too high for Dallas considering they can get a similar player at least 2 rounds later. Stanley Morgan Jr. is a bargain I just don't think they could pass up. This is all speculation of course, but it's definitely something to take into consideration when the 2019 NFL Draft gets underway. Deebo Samuel or Stanley Morgan Jr.? Which receiver would you draft?